So I wanted to show you guys this here. I was pouring my insecticidal soap into the sprayer. It's been raining today, but I'm gonna keep up with it anyways because I haven't kept up with it times in the past when it was raining and I regretted it. But I'm actually adding in this BT as well. Helps with like things like larvae, like caterpillars and worms. So I just added it into the insecticidal soap. Usually you just need water, and all the insecticidal soap is water and Castile soap and essential oils. So I just added this in too to kind of kill two birds with one stone. And I'm gonna go and spray the garden and also get out some of the yucky stuff to put in the compost and take the compost out from inside. If you hear my dog barking, that's my dog. She's a howler. So there's a very light sprinkle, but I wanted to show you guys what I'm doing some. I've been clearing some stuff out here. So I went ahead and trained up these cucumbers a little more, pruned a lot of the lower leaves. There's still a few coming out, and I think the Armenian cucumbers, those lighter ones, those are gonna be good. Those Armenian cucumbers, the lighter ones, they're gonna be good. But like this here, the regular Marketmore cucumbers, they're starting to get a little yellow anytime I see them. Or odd shaped, which they kind of were odd shaped in the beginning. Excuse me. These are pretty much died back. So it's wet right now, so I'm not gonna harvest these because I've harvested the potatoes in the rain, even though I was advised not to, and I did kind of regret it. Just more of them went bad because they didn't properly dry out. So I'm gonna wait till it's not raining. And these cucumbers you see on the other side here, going up this trellis, but they're also climbing over to the side of the fence here. So that's kind of fun. And I'm just letting them do it because more space for them. Look at that big cucumber down there. So we'll see what happens. Also, I think I saw on this plant, let's see if I can find it. Here it is. So that bumblebee right there sadly is not moving at all. So what happened was it went to fertilize the plant, which is the reason I like them. And since I spray insecticidal soap on my plants, it actually, it's, you know, an insect. It will kill it as well. So it's a bummer. I like spraying my plants in the evening if I can because there's not bees out, and then by the time they come in the morning, it's worn out a little bit and it won't really affect them as much. It's cool because it's proof that your insecticide works, but it's a bummer because you want the bees, you know, honey of course, but also pollinators. They do come back, there's plenty of them. So it's kind of one of those things that I personally accept to fight off the bad bugs, because although good things like ladybugs come in our garden to kill off the aphids on our brassicas, not enough came. So this is the reality, that it kills off some of the good bugs too, but the good bugs still come and will still fertilize your plants and they will grow. I've only fertilized, we put compost in this garden with the dirt in the beginning, and then we fertilized once and with like a store-bought organic fertilizer, and that's it. So the pollinators, the butterflies, bees, they're all coming, and sometimes they die from the insecticidal soap and stuff, sometimes they don't. I try to spray in the evenings like I said, but it is just a reality of it. Bit of a bummer, but sometimes there's a little bit of hard bummers you have to face in gardening, homesteading and such. Down here you can see I cleared a lot of the lower leaves. I'm trying to clear some of these lower leaves to prevent blight, which is, you'll see the spotty, yellowy kind of start on the leaves, which is very common with like I would say the Skajari melons, the cucumbers, the tomatoes, squash, stuff like that. These melons are looking really cool. There's quite a few though. And I've been training this up more and more as well. These beans I've left to continue to dry out. I am going to come through and prune these eggplants. We have good ones starting to grow there, but as you see, there are some bad ones. They'll be a little dull. That one's actually already starting to get a little shiny. Maybe it's because of the rain though, but they'll be a little dull at first, and then they'll get shiny. Harvest them then, even if they're small. If you wait too long, they'll end up looking like that, and they are bad. But look at these beautiful flowers on them. They're pretty. I will come and prune the bottom of the tomato plants again, but I did not bring the alcohol out, the rubbing alcohol. And with plants that are heavy blight like tomatoes, you want to use rubbing alcohol to clean your pruners or scissors before going to another plant, because if you don't, you can spread the blight, which is like a fungal disease. I also wanted to show you guys some stuff about tomatoes here. So you can actually grow more tomatoes from your sucker plants. So right here, so this is the main stem, and then it's going up, and then this is the side shoot, and then from the armpit here, a little stem is coming up. If you take that out and you cut it off, and it's called a sucker. You cut the sucker off and you put it in some water and let it get roots, and then you plant it in the dirt, and you can have a whole new tomato plant. So that's really cool. I'm training that cucumber plant up a little bit more, pruned it a little bit. Looks like there's some poop or worms or something on it. And I actually cut that off and just throw it in compost. These cabbages will be harvested soon. I took care of the ones in the fridge and made it into sauerkraut, so I have more room to get those. I've pruned this to where the lower leaves aren't touching the ground. Same with over here, and I'm going through to do that also with all those brassicas, because that's how just pests and disease can get to it. The basil, I'm gonna leave for now because it just looks so awesomely big. I'm gonna get rid of these two lettuces that are coming out into the other rows and let the other ones continue for saving seeds. And then I wanted to show you guys, here it is. Okay, see all those green dots? That's poop, probably some worm or caterpillar poop. So when I spray the plants, that will go away. I need to prune a little artichoke down. I like calling these plants arty. Jess from Roots and Refuge Farm actually called her little plant Artie, her little artichoke Artie. I thought it was adorable, and I've picked up the habit without even realizing it. But I'm gonna prune the lower leaves that are touching the ground, prune these bad eggplants off, see if we get some good ones. Also clearing the walkway here because these cabbages are just coming all the way into the walkway. Same with the dill. Another interesting thing, I think this was, oh, actually it wasn't. So at first I thought that was another cocoon there. No, it is another caterpillar, just a really big caterpillar. It was probably starting to cocoon. Well, a spider got it first. It is in a spider web there that you can't really see. And the spider obviously sucked all the juice out of that. That is how spiders eat. Spiders are good in the garden because they get rid of bugs. And usually caterpillars are not really good in the garden. So that would have been good. And I don't mind really. I'm just letting the caterpillars go on the dill because I've harvested and dried all the dill that I want. So whatever is left, I'm just letting the caterpillars munch on and turn into butterflies for more pollinators. I'm not spraying these plants. Over here, where's our cocoon? Okay, here's our cocoon. So the plant actually must have broke off from the wind, and I leaned it. It was barely hanging on, and I actually leaned it in the plant here, so it's a little safer to handle the wind. But there it is. That's our original cocoon we've been tracking. Man, what is this? I don't even know. This is probably like day 5. I'll have to go back and look. And then there's also another cocoon right here. So day 1 that I know of this cocoon. So they're doing their job. Anything else I want to show you guys in the garden? Look at all those habanero peppers coming in under there. The red bell pepper that I bought as a plant start hasn't been producing yet, but we'll see what happens. Our other ones are doing great. We actually are not using cages for the peppers, so I'm gonna need to put some supports in. So far we put like a brick there and that's been supporting it, but they're getting really big, so they need more support. Look at all those watermelons. There's some big ones under there. That one. And that one, you can barely see it, but it's there. And we're letting them take over here. There's some more in there too. This area has officially become a watermelon patch. We decided to do that when we realized we planted too big of watermelons for this trellis archway over here. I had tied up to help them stay in there. Our sugar baby watermelons are looking good down there. I think they're ready to harvest because that little sprig right here, the first sprig, you barely see it, is dried up, that little curly thing. And that was one of the signs that watermelons are wetty. Watermelons are wetty. Watermelons are ready. So we'll harvest little bit by little bit and start giving some away because it's too many for us. Whatever these things are taking over the flowers, so I'm gonna pull some of those out. All right, so I cleaned all the stuff out of the garden, sprayed the garden. I'm gonna go and put the stuff in the fire, dump the compost bin in there, put the stuff away. Now we will have a bit more of a cleaned up garden here. Well, until next time, have a good week.